Welcome to the Writers' Symposium of 2024. Vision. It is a miraculous gift bestowed upon humanity, a literal lens through which we interpret the world's complexities, forming our individual perspectives on life itself. Yet, despite this innate ability, we often struggle to comprehend the perspectives of others. Why is that? Perhaps it's our intrinsic values or the different temporal contexts we inhabit. Literature bridges this gap, exposing the transhistorical nature of universal values in society as meta-narratives, resonating with contemporary audiences through the exploration of diverse perspectives. George Clooney's postmodern docudrama Good Night and Good Luck epitomizes this concept, emphasizing the dichotomous role of media spreading either truth or propaganda, and its impact on the individual by drawing compelling parallels between the destructive exploitation of the communist threat during McCarthy's era and the Bush administration's similar exploitation of the terrorist threat under the Patriot Act. The film reflects widespread anxieties about the erosion of civil liberties. Through a blend of historical and contemporary context, the film transhistorically critiques totalitarianism and demagoguery through its precise visual and auditory techniques. Clooney's directorial vision allows audiences to experience three different perspectives, a synthesis of meta-narratives, in hopes of responders empathizing and interacting with each one. Television. A harmonious conjunction of sight and sound, which Edward Murrow aptly describes as
It is merely wires and lights in a box.
the power of television and media at large is immediately underscored as the primary events of the film begin with this jingle. In 1948, only 1% of American households had a TV set. By 1953, more than 50% did. Now, I can't understate the importance of television in this era, and neither could Edward Murrow. Through his role as the host of See It Now, being broadcast into the lives of thousands, we see the perspective of a fearless yet flawed man. Clooney crafts Murrow's character and his motivations as a meta-narrative itself. As in this scene, he uses an extra-diegetic gaze, breaking the fourth wall, looking past the camera and straight into the minds of the audience, as a depressing plea for both McCarthy's audience and Clooney's, a plea not to blindly obey. Illustrating the power of literature transcending time and context. A recurring theme that binds Murrow and Friendly in their fight against societal corruption is their isolation, emphasized by the lack of exterior shots in the film. Murrow's loneliness is further conveyed through the heavy use of chiaroscuro, which casts him in stark light and shadow. This motif is often paired with scenes of Murrow smoking in diegetic silence, accentuating moments of introspection and allowing the audience to empathize with Murrow's nuanced perspective, relentless pursuit of truth, and price of resistance. Stepping back from Murrow's character to consider the film as a whole, the monochromatic color palette and noir cinematography transport us back to the 1950s, enhancing the film's verisimilitude and authenticity while highlighting the moral complexities of each character. This stylistic choice also reflects the films of that era, further deepening the audience's immersion. The recurring diegetic jazz motifs such as
But you were the one who would hurt me, desert me when I needed you. Oh,
subtly mirror the film's events and the character's inner turmoil, offering additional layers of insight. Clooney skillfully constructs this world to parallel our own, and by using pastiche through archival footage, he adds depth and integrity. A prime example of this is McCarthy's character, another major meta-narrative that Clooney explores. He's seen exclusively through cold screens presented in a purely objective manner. This prevents the audience from empathizing with him, portraying him not as a person but as an embodiment of malice and evil. This deliberate choice by Clooney serves to explore McCarthy's perspective by essentially condemning him and his actions. Clooney frames the clash of opposing perspectives between Murrow's authentic journalism and McCarthy's fear-mongering campaign as the biblical paradigm of good versus evil, David versus Goliath, by stating,
He threw stones at giants.
but the film itself isn't solely about this battle, it's about the deeper effects of McCarthyism and how people responded to it. Finally, and most importantly, the third primary meta-narrative archetype Clooney explores in this film is the perspective of the everyday man. These are the individuals who neither actively fight against the status quo nor support it, but as we all know, inaction equates to complacency. The relationship between Joseph and Shirley Wirshba serves as an allegory for the era, seen in lines such as,
If you don't sign this, are you and I a target?
through Clooney's use of close-up shots and slightly handheld camera, the audience is placed in their shoes, allowing us to experience their distress through their perspective. And as the film comes to a cyclical close, we return to the television. The camera dollies in and we are left thinking, will this time come again? Ultimately, Good Night and Good Luck masterfully explores the perspectives of the protagonist, antagonist, and people of everyday society, regardless of time or context. In an age of social media, tabloid magazines, and instant messaging, modern society has not strayed too far away from the ongoing spread of information, regardless if it's true. So, as a society, we aren't really all that different from 20 or even 70 years ago.